Hi everybody, welcome to Saturday Live at the Backyard Bird Center. Today is Labor Day weekend. Happy Labor Day to all you hard-working folks out there. And it is also absolute peak migration for ruby-throated hummingbirds. They are everywhere. I had lunch with John yesterday, John Ruehle, and he said he's got more hummingbirds in his yard right now than he's ever had, ever. And I'm kind of the same way right now. My backyard looks like a large bee fight out there. There's hummingbirds everywhere. We've had perfect migration conditions. The winds coming out of the north this time of year, right when the hummingbirds are wanting to move. And also other birds. We were at Weston Bend on Thursday. There were lots of birds in the trees, a lot of migrants coming through. So with that, it makes me want to talk about a couple of conservation things that, the reason I have kind of this random beautiful spring bird montage playing behind me is because most of these birds are coming through right now on their way south, and they're going to winter in southern Mexico and Central America. And one of the most important places that they can find, because we know about so much deforestation and going on in the rainforest, which is that rich environment they count on in the winter to survive, is shade-grown coffee. I'm not a coffee drinker, but I know a lot of you are. And the importance of shade-grown coffee can't be underestimated for bird populations, especially these beautiful birds behind us. Some of your favorite birds that come to your feeders. Baltimore Orioles are known to utilize shade-grown coffee plantations. Ruby-throated hummingbirds and these warblers and vireos and tanagers use those. And what is a shade-grown coffee plantation? Well, instead of cutting all the trees down and planting coffee trees down there, shade-grown plantations just grow their trees, their coffee plants under the canopy of the forest, the existing forest. So the forest pretty much stays intact on the upper layer, while they're able to grow these coffee beans underneath there, and that leaves habitat for birds. The coffee grows slower. I'm not a coffee drinker, but the way I understand it is the coffee beans are richer because they stay on the plant longer, and so you use less beans per cup of coffee or per pot of coffee, and you can buy it just about anywhere that major coffee places. And if you ask for it in your grocery stores, if you ask for it at Starbucks and places like that, then the more you ask for it, the more these buyers will insist on it, and the more the growers in the parts of the world, even like in Indonesia and countries like that, where rainforests are so important as well, are growing it now. And it's millions of tons of this are generated every year, and it's growing, and that's a good thing for all these beautiful birds that are passing around behind us. So if you drink coffee, try shade-grown coffee. We used to be able to carry it here, but I lost the guy who was distributing it for me. But it's available in a lot of different places. You just have to ask for it and see if you can drink shade-grown coffee. Just know you're doing good conservation work for very important birds. The other thing that's going on right now with migration is hopefully you saw the post yesterday on our Facebook page about lights out right now. These birds migrate at night, and we've got and lights confuse them, and we get a lot of building window strikes and things like that during migration. And so they're encouraging people to reduce light pollution during migration. So if you don't have to have an outside light on at night, especially all night till dawn, turn off those lights right now. It's basically in spring migration and fall migration. So read that article that's on the Facebook page. Yes, ma'am.
There is a hummingbird question. One hummingbird tends to chase off all the others.
Yes. The question is about one hummingbird chasing off all the others. Well, if you watch one of my spring hummingbird programs, I talk about how a lot of that's flirting and a dominant male trying to attract females. That's not the case now. The case now is I'm the hummingbird, I have to fatten up. I have to really increase my weight before I can make my next night's journey south. They fly about 100 to 125 miles a night, And it takes a lot of energy for a hummingbird to do that. So now it's all about, I found a good food source. I want all of it. I don't want anybody else drinking here. And so he or she, the females, can be very aggressive too. And the poor young the juveniles that hatch this year, they don't know the routine yet. And so they're getting chased around a lot. But usually there is a dominant bird. And you'll notice very quickly once that bird moves on, the dominant birds move on, and all you have are the juveniles left because they're going to be the last to leave. Then you'll see a lot more cooperative feeding at your hummingbird feeders because they don't know to chase each other off and things. So right now you've got a lot of dominant birds moving through. They're trying to fatten up for that next night's journey. So that's a good question. Yeah,
that's good. From Glennis Stout.
Well, thank you very much, Glennis. Good question. Shade-grown coffee, lights out. Hummingbird migration, all songbird migration. Shorebirds are migrating right now. Water birds like terns are migrating. Great time to be out looking for birds. The temperature's going to drop again. We're going to get a good north wind, I think, Sunday night, maybe. And my guess is there'll be a lot more migrants move through. It'll push out some of our birds and bring some more new into the area. So good time to be watching your feeders. My goldfinches are going nuts right now, so watch your bird feeders, watch the woods, look for things different, and let us know what you're seeing out there. So thank you for the idea for a program. Give us a like, give us a share, hopefully. And if you go on Facebook or Google at any time, give us a good review, if you will, because those really help. Those help people that are looking for a good, reputable place to buy their bird seed. And if you do that, then they have faith in us. So we thank you for your support.